I was a full-time mother. I have one daughter, but on my 32nd birthday, I decided to try crack cocaine.
I grew up in a drug and alcohol environment. My grandmother raised me and my brother. She did the best that she could. By the age of 22, I had 4 kids.
I grew up with my mom and my stepdad. I didn't know my dad was my stepdad until I was about 15. I always felt like I didn't fit in, like there was something different about me. And it really had a downward spiral in my life because I always wanted to be somebody. I always wanted to be educated.
My life took an immediate downward spiral within 6 months. I was jobless. I was evicted from my apartment. I gave temporary custody of my one daughter to my sister. And from there, I proceeded to live in the streets.
And when my grandmother passed, my life took a downhill fall. I started getting into drugs. I started doing things that I said I would never do.
I tried crack at my cousin's leaving North Carolina party. My reaction to crack every time I tried it was, do you have more?
I was homeless for 16 years. I prostituted myself. I was incarcerated about probably 9 times.
I became homeless. I was sleeping up under a bridge. And I was just lost without hope.
I lost my children along the way due to crack addiction. I've been arrested about 20 times. I've been in treatment 15 times. I've been in detox 7 times.
One night, I got locked up and went to pretrial. And I had heard of this lady named Mary Jane who come in to do Bible study. She helped me and she took me to treatment. When I was a year and a half clean, I went back out and my jealous boyfriend came and found me, and he stabbed me 5 to 6 times. He had punctured my lungs, and I had to have 2 chest tubes. And I called Mary Jane. And when I woke up out of ICU, her face was the first face that I saw.
This year I've learned so much about the ladies that I work with and their lives and what it really, really takes for a life to be restored. There's so many components, and the ladies now have to get to a place where they are confident enough to get a job and to go back into the workplace. And this is a big step. If you remember, most of the women leave the jail and have nothing. I can remember each one of the exact moment that I met them.
My name is Herman Sloan. I am the presiding judge of the Atlanta Municipal Court. One thing that I have discovered since I've started doing this in the last year and a half is that the problems that are confronting most of these offenders are in fact our problems. That unless we as a society begin to address these issues, then we will constantly and continually see the same persons being cycled through not only this court, but other courts. A lot of the persons, when they are first seen in court, are reluctant to become involved in a program that's going to require them to give of themselves. They are afraid of failure because far too often what studies have found is that most of the people who will be participants in the various community court programs have been told by their parents from a very young age that they are in fact failures, that they will never be able to succeed at anything. So they are afraid to step out and chance that it may in fact be something that they will be able to succeed at. We have found that so often once the people get started in the program, they realize that yes, it is difficult. Yes, I may fail. But they also understand that failure is a part of it. And that once they have accepted the fact that they may fail and that they can overcome that failure and still be a success, they in fact will go on and complete their programs. Most of the people who come back to court who have agreed to complete whatever the program may have been do so, and they will proudly tell me how they have enjoyed the opportunity to achieve some sense of normalcy. And that is what everything that the community court programs are geared towards, is trying to help those people who participate in the program achieve some sense of normalcy, to restore them not only with their families, but restore them to the larger society as well.
Today I have 3 years clean. Knowing that God loves me keeps me strong. And I go to meetings, I have a sponsor. I go to group. I still go to group. After 3 years, I still go to group twice a week. I still call my sponsor on a regular basis. I'm still working the steps.
Today, things couldn't be any more better. I have a job. I have just went to court. I have full custody of my twin girls, who's back in my life. I have my own place, and I go to church every Sunday. I go to my meetings. I call my sponsor every night, and I know that today that there is hope in spite of everything that I've been through.
I've been clean and sober for 2.5 years now. I've reunited with my family. I've become a grandmother. I work 2 part-time jobs. I go to church every Friday. I do all my meetings. And I just want my life to reflect the work that God is doing in my life. And I would just like to, let other people see that if it can be done for me, if I can do it, then others can do it.